Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fully Over podcast. How's everyone? How's everybody since last week? I hope you guys had a really good week. I know I did. I went to go see the Batman and it was bitchin'. It was rad. Worked a lot this week, but it was rewarding, so it was cool. Hopefully, it was the same thing for you. Today, we're going to get into it right off the rip. We're going to get into the MASVIDAL situation with Covington. Yo, that's fucking crazy, bro. This dude ran up on Covington and gave him a 1-2 from behind and then ran back into the restaurant. Um, yeah, he got in trouble. Cops came. This dude, Covington, had like a fractured tooth. There was like a $90,000 Rolex that was all bent and scratched up because, they had a scuffle and Covington decided to press charges. So, dude, they booked Masvidal. What was it? They booked on him, I think, for like 2 nights. He was booked, and I think it was like $15,000 to like let him loose or whatever, or to what's the actual word for it? Not let them loose, but post bail. Yeah, it was 15K to post bail. So I'm sure he had that in the bank. You just pay for it. But like, yo, that's like super shitty. Like, it's shitty to have to be in a situation like that because it's like, I heard that Covington basically had talked shit on him about his kids and his family. And it's like, I'm a Khabib fan. I agree with him, regardless if I was a Khabib fan or not. But when he says you can't like talk about family and religion, you can't like bring that into this type of sport. Like, it's cowardly, and people obviously see when you do that, you're trying to sell tickets. You're trying to like, hype yourself up, which makes total sense. But it's like, dude, you're going to talk about a person's family and then press charges at him for him coming at you. Bro, Covington, you're a little bitch, dog. Like, straight up, you're a fighter. You should have just handled it like a man. You should have just said, you want to fight, dude? All right, let's go. You know what I mean? Granted, Masvidal shouldn't have ran up on him like that. Shouldn't have ran up on him and gave him the 1-2 from behind. Now, that's not cool. That's fucking cheap shot. Like, for a guy who's from the streets, you would think he would have a little bit more integrity. I mean, yo, like I see these UFC guys as like warriors. You know what I mean? I watch too much Game of Thrones and too much Vikings to like think these guys have like, any bad inch of, non-honor in their body. But like a lot of them, are trying to make a buck, trying to make a career. And, the UFC doesn't really pay them that well. So it's like they're doing what they can to be the next Conor McGregor. Makes total sense. But like, come on, man, you got to get yourself together. You can't let your psyche get out of place. Like, and plus, why isn't the UFC doing more like on a psychologist level for these guys? You know what I mean? Like, hey, like, see a psychologist right before you go into the match to see one after, because we got to make sure you're okay. Like, so situations like fucking this one happen. I'm not saying like it's the UFC's fault. I'm not like a Dana White hater. I'm not like a UFC hater. Like the sport is still learning. The sport is still new. And plus it's combat sports. Like, that's not like ordinary sports. It's not like, football or soccer, you know what I mean? It's not, it's really not. It's a whole other thing in its own. So the level of rules that apply to like regular sports don't really apply to that. You have to think different. But yeah, so like Covington's a little bitch, but like when you cheap shot somebody, that kind of makes you a little bitch too. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the toughest guy, but wherever I came from, anywhere I've ever come from, that's always been the consensus. Like, you just don't do that. But then it's like, talked about his family though. So can you be mad at him? Not really, but y'all are UFC fighters. Y'all should have just like handled it, left it in the ring, and that was that. Now you guys are doing all this most likely to try and get a rematch times two, but I don't think that's going to happen. Honestly, like, this situation could be really bad PR for the UFC. I honestly see Masvidal exited out. Like, I don't see him fighting a serious fight after this. I see Covington going against Kamsat, that guy from Sweden with the cleft lip thing. Yeah, he's got the cleft lip. But like, he's tough, bro. I don't know what it is about him. Something about that guy's a monster. Like, just the way he has a pretty good social media presence and he seems really nice. But when he's in the ring, he's a different person. It's like a different person comes out, and it's terrifying. Honestly, like, I'm excited about that guy. I think that guy is going to be huge in the UFC. 2 other guys I'm really stoked about in the UFC. I mean, I don't want to be super negative and like talk about the Masvidal thing the whole time, but honestly, like, I'm stoked on Sugar Sean O'Malley. I'm super stoked on Paddy Pimblett, aka Paddy the Baddy. Like, those 2 for me are like my favorite thing right now about the UFC. That prospect of these 2 being the biggest UFC fighters in the next like decade. You know what I mean? This guy Sugar Sean already said by 2023 he'll be a champ, and then so on and so on. And I see it, yo. Give this guy a title shot. I think maybe one more fight, and I think he's there. I think he deserves it. I think he's gotten to that point. Why not? Give the man the chance. He's literally shown us that he can handle it. You know what I mean? There, it has been not a reason for him not to do it. Like, he expects it. I mean, like, dude, look at this article. So, this article right now from MMAnews.com saying that Sugar Sean O'Malley reveals why he suspects or expects to be the UFC champion. Like, just like read this, like go into it. I mean, for a 135-pound division, he's saying that he's going to win it by 2023. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, but if there's anyone who's going to claim it, it's going to be this 6'9" looking fuck for sure. You know what I mean? Like this guy's a monster. Like, and he's so popular on social media. Like, he has such a great presence. So yeah, I mean, this is like pretty interesting stuff. I mean, like, O'Malley is part of arguably the most stacked division in the UFC, with the elite contenders flooding from bantamweight title picture. Bantamweight champion, wow, Aljamain Sterling will face Peter Yan in a title rematch, UFC 273, with a slew of fighters such as Jose Aldo and Rob Font waiting in the wings. Like this guy is being put in with some great fighters. Like, that's his circle now. That's who he's going to be on the cards with. So I think that's huge. And with Paddy the Baddy, it's just, you can't help but be stoked on that guy. Yo, that guy is just next level. I mean, like, he made so much money, and like, the guy deserves more for being such an up and coming artist. Wow, up and coming fighter. Like, give this guy more money. Let's see more of him. Put him in movies. I want a YouTube channel. I want a TikTok. I want everything on this guy. Like, he's so funny to me, dude. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how, like, there's such talent and that they won't utilize it. But like, certain people will know that like this guy's obviously something, you know what I mean? And Paddy the Baddy and Sugar Sean O'Malley, wow, it sounds like they could be like a comic book duo, just saying it like that together. But they're going to be huge in the UFC, and I'm super freaking excited for it, because I mean, who doesn't like fighting? Who doesn't like kind of feeling like you're in like Roman times? You know what I mean? Like, watching gladiators fight. Unfortunately, there's no lions to feed them to after. That sucks. But like, hey, we can get past it. We see a little bit of blood. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's ever died in the UFC, but in WWE, people have died. You know what I mean? Like, during. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And it's not even real. It's a fake. I mean, it's fake, but it's real. Like, it's real, the certain things that they do. But like, the like the acting and stuff is like we all really believe that Stephanie McMahon got abducted and got drugged and married Triple H. What? That was the big, like, and I was sitting at the edge of my seat like, oh my God, this is not okay. You can't, like, my PC mind was already kicking in at like age 8. I was like, oh my God, this is not okay. Poor Stephanie, she's passed out and she just agreed to marry this terrible man. It's like, it's fake. Didn't know that then. Know that now. Actually, I thought wrestling was real until I was 14. And I was like a huge like flat earther on it. Like, I would fight fools. I'd be like, no, bro, I'll fucking swanton bomb on your ass, dog. I'll do it right now, bro. I'll do it right now, bro. You remember, what was it? The Ed Hardy bros, or the Jeff and Matt Hardy? Remember Lita? You remember Lita. Everybody remembers Lita. They were kind of a weird goth, whatever the fuck. You know what they reminded me of? You know, in the second Matrix movie, when they're all in the cave underground, they're all like, they're like dancing and shit. They're all dressed weird. That's what they were dressed like fishnets and like lime see-through fishnets. Like, well, why are you doing that? You can wear other things. All right, let's get in. Let's change the pace. Let's get into some music, yeah. Wow. let's talk about SPIRITBOX. SPIRITBOX is a band that I've been listening to for a little bit. Really good band. Has a female front vocalist. She sings, she screams. She's also married to the guitar player, which is really cool. I don't know why I think that's cool. I just kind of do. Like, I appreciate it because it's like they're both doing what they love to do, but together. You know what I mean? They get to like, I mean, like, that's like the coolest thing ever. You know, I mean, when I was a touring musician, I was like, damn, like it would be cool, like, if I could have like my significant other with me, you know what I mean, all the time, and like maybe they can do something like play like the triangle or like the cowbell or something, you know, because I'm the drummer. Sorry. The drummer. Honestly, so if somebody's watching this, Photoshop my ass in this picture, yo. Just Photoshop my ass in this picture, like right here. You can't see. Yeah, you can see the mouse right there. Get me right there. but don't make me as blurred out as him and make me more focused than him. You know what I mean? Like still have center on her, but me is like definitely number 2. You know, like Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, yellow, pink. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's cool. But what I really like about this band is the singer and the guitar player both came from a band called I Wrestled the Bear once, which is super rad. And then she ended up leaving because she didn't want to just like be the person who, you know, replaced a girl that was in this band called that, because there was a girl before her that was in I Wrestled the Bear once, and this chick replaced her, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do my own thing. But before she went and did her own thing, she married this guy from the same band, and now they're both doing their own thing together on tour. And you know, it's pretty rad. I mean, like obviously she's doing well for herself. I mean, take a look at that right there. Look at that fact, just 1.5 million in net worth, just her alone. That's amazing. That's great to see. Like, for as a musician, like especially this genre that she's in, like it's a really niche genre and it's really hard to like make it like that. But the fact that she's doing it, crushing it, loving it, and the album that they just put out, fan-fucking-tastic. It's Eternal Blue. There's a lot of really cool songs on there, and they have the guy, if there's a band called Architects. I need to slow down. They have their singer Sam is on it, and he is a Manchester United fan. I love him. And yeah, he's on one of their songs. I believe it's called Yellow Jacket. Check that out. You would definitely like it. If you're into like Bring Me the Horizon, if you're into like Wage War, it's kind of like along those lines. More heavy than it is like rock element, but the rock elements are so catchy and the choruses are so good. It's just like, damn, like I'm in the car, the music's not even playing, and I'm like humming the songs. So definitely check them out. And yeah, like we got to appreciate artists and take care of them, and we can't have situations happen, like bad situations, like where their artists and like their mental, I guess, start to suffer because, you know, like they're worried about appeasing fans. Like, remember, you're just a fan. Like, your job is to go there and appreciate their music, not to dictate like how to like write their songs or how to dictate their careers. Like, I guess this is kind of like random, I guess, like where it's coming from. But I just recently read and heard about everything that's going on with Doja Cat, and it's totally despicable. I think it's awful that like people are like bullying her into like, you know, feeling like she can't write music anymore and that she can't do that. Like, apparently she quit music, and she's basically like got bullied online because of something that happened in South America. It was like it was like a concert, and I guess it was raining a bunch. And I guess in this concert, a bunch of people canceled, a bunch of people had to go home, and she obviously went back to her hotel. Well, some people found out what hotel she was at, and they went over there and they demanded like a meet and greet. But like, it's raining, you're not going to come out. Like, I'm not doing that, you know? And it's like, it's one thing to be on stage and performing in front of like that many people, but unfortunately it's one thing like having to go in front of them and like talk to them and like touch them, especially in this culture of what's going on, like with COVID and whatnot. So like, I get it, but what makes it harder is a lot of people that were scheduled to play that concert were performing off of their balcony at the same hotel. So they were kind of like anticipating or wanting the same thing from her. But yo, like, she doesn't have to do that for you guys. Like, at the end of the day, maybe she was bummed out that the concert was over and that she couldn't give you guys a good performance. You know what I mean? Why would you think she would subject herself to giving you, no offense, but like an even worse performance off of a fucking balcony? You know what I mean? It's not like you can just be MGK and pull out a guitar and just like, you know, like talk about slitting your fucking pink ass wrists. Like, it doesn't like work like that with the style of music she has. Either she has a PA system that's loud enough with a microphone that's like connected to that to be able to, or that's just not going to happen. She's not going to do an acoustic set. How is she supposed to do that on fly? Like impromptu. It doesn't work like that. With pop punk music, like MGK's music, it does work like that. You can do that. It's chord progressions. It's chord progressions. My name is MGK. I'm dating Megan Fox. I used to rap, but now I'm Eminem ruined my career, so now I do pop punk. Even though I like MGK's music, but like low key, I look at him and I'm like, this guy? Fucking this guy? You know? But like, it's sad because I separate the music from the morons, you know? And it's like, if you're a moron, I think you're a moron, but your music is good. I still think you're a moron, but I think your music is good. You know? I don't think you're good. I just think your music is good. And granted, why do I feel like a lot of those songs are just like Blink-182 like knockoffs? Like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket meets like like feeling this, you know, like enemy of the state, enema of the state vibes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like these songs are just like almost written that way, and you just put his like fucking MGK fucking pink ass guitar and bit to it, you know, and that's fine. Get your bags, because why? We like bags. Why? Because we're fully about it. Why? Because we like money. We like money. But yeah, leave Doja Cat alone. She's a person at the end of the day. Y'all can't be bullying her to make her feel like she can't fucking write music. And to be fair, like, you know what you're signing up for to a degree. You have to. Because when you sign a contract, especially to be like somebody like her, you know, to be like that huge, and they're going to build you. They're going to make you into a machine, you know, in a way that like takes away your genuine aspect to it, you know. And for her, it was, I want to be able to go out to dive bars and like hang out with my friends. I want to be able to write my own music, not have ghostwriters do it. Here's the thing, like when you're not writing your own songs, the connection to the song isn't there. Now for common folk, people who don't write music, who don't do anything artistic like that, you wouldn't understand what that feels like. But for people like myself, who has albums on Spotify and albums on Apple and, you know, music videos that I've been in on YouTube, I have a connection to those, not because I'm in those videos or I'm playing these songs, but because I helped write them. You know what I mean? To me, that transcends. To me, there's a connection to that. But now take that out and have somebody else write it for you. And you're just walking into a room, a beautiful studio, and you're like, all right, here's a track. Go ahead. Like, that's not tight. Like, there's nothing genuine about that. So, like, I get where she's coming from. So for people to attack her and make her feel bad about all of, you know, whatever people attacked her on, like, it was pretty bad. Like, a lot of it was in like South American, but like some of it was in English and translated, and it's just vile stuff. Like, and it's not chill. Like people are so inherently racist too. Like, they'll take like anybody who is like ethnic and like they'll give a shit about them because it matters at the moment, but the minute they fuck up once, they'll just cast them aside. You know what I mean? It happens so much, and it's such bullshit. You know, like, I mean, like, look at look at certain like African American athletes. Like, the minute they have an injury and their career is over, nobody gives a fuck about them anymore. And that's bullshit. Nobody helps, nobody cares. And I have friends who are in situations like that, like where they were something at one point and now they're not, and nobody gives a shit about them. It's like, what the fuck, dude? But that's just the material world that we live in. You know, we live in a world that you're disposable. You know, you're good for this time, and the minute you mess up, we're just going to dispose you. That's what it feels like to be like in a situation like, as an ethnic person. You know, we have to work extra hard. You know, other cultures more hard. You know, other races more hard. You know, so it's one of those things where it's like, damn, for sure, like, this chick's going to go and write you guys all these songs. You guys are going to pay all this damn money to come out and see her. But the minute she shows you anything of her human self, you guys are going to like tear her of that. That is awful. That is terrible. And like honestly, I'm glad she's not doing music anymore, because none of you fucks deserve it. Like, that's not chill. That's not right. And like, I hope anyone who's ever trolled or bullied anybody online, like really learns from it. I'm not like gonna wish ill on you, but like, I'm saying I hope you learn from it, because like your words could really affect people to the point of like making them into statistics. And what I mean by that is they can off themselves. I'm not trying to get like too serious, but like in a reality, like, what if Doja Cat has these insecurities about herself and all these people are like throwing these insecurities in her face? She's probably like, dude, these guys are right. If they can see right through me, and these are thoughts that I'm having on a micro level, those thoughts that are on a micro level now magnified, because she's gonna take what these people are saying, like, I guess, more deeply. You know what I mean? Because it might be validating the bad feelings she's having about herself. Again, athletes are humans. Artists are humans. And like, they have mentals, and we have to respect them. And if we don't, then it's like fucking inherently selfish. You know? Like, you're a dick, bro. Like, be empathetic. Learn to be there for your friends. Like, literally. What does Crystalia say? Make friends in the comments. Like, if you're in the pit and you see somebody fall, pick them up. Pick them up. We're past that. Insert the leave. You know how they used to say leave Britney alone? Yo, leave Doja alone. I'll kill you guys, punk asses. But let's change topic. I got way too serious. My blood pressure is higher, so it's one of those things. So next thing I want to talk about, guys, let's just go into the next topic of segment. You know what? No, let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. Your boy's back. Weird look at the camera. Anyways, so let's go ahead and talk about TV. Something I really like is TV. Part of the big thing I like about TV is you can see a lot of different stories. You can see a lot of different, I mean, when I say TV, I don't mean like CNN and stuff like that. I mean like TV shows like Game of Thrones, HBO Max type stuff. You know what I mean? One thing I've been watching on Paramount Plus is Halo. Halo has a new series that just came out, and it's remarkable. It honestly, it looks really cool. Like the whole aspect of it, like behind like the way Master Chief looks and like the storyline. Some people are saying it's kind of dull, but like no, I absolutely like it. Like if you say that it's dull, like I don't know what you're expecting. This isn't going to be Marvel. This is its own thing. This is going to be like a whole new type of series. This could be huge, honestly. Like we've seen how far the Halo games have gone and like how many different Halo games there are. So like personally, like I see this being huge, but it shows us Silver Team, shows us Halo, it shows us Master Chief, it shows us what he looks like underneath the mask too. Like off the first episode, they took the helmet off at the end, and you're like, oh, well that was quick, because in the majority of the games we never see we never see him take it off or what his face looks like. So for him to, I guess, see that off rip, or for us to see that off rip is pretty crazy. But I've been watching that. It's, I think, weekly episodes. So every episode or every week a new episode comes out, and it's been pretty good. For a first episode, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't put all my money on the table yet, but it's pretty good for what it is. Like they didn't like overly fantasize it. They didn't make the Covenant look awkward. Like it looks pretty good for what it is. I mean, even the armor on Master Chief, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look bad at all. So that's one thing I was watching. Another show that's an amazing show. It's a Netflix show. If you have Netflix, you can watch this. And they're making a movie. It's called The Last Kingdom. Oh man, it's so good. So basically, it's like about this guy named Uhtred, right? And he's like a kid at the time, and he is an elderman's son. An elderman is like a lord, basically, of like a land, like a governor. Vikings come, and I guess something ends up happening, and he ends up being taken by the Vikings. Him and like one of the girls that he grew up with. So they both get raised as Vikings. So what happens? Naturally, him and his Viking family come back, and they're about to pillage these towns. And he realizes who he is, where he's from, and he basically stays, and the story is all about him, and it's all about uniting Britain, and it's all about uniting Britain under one nation. And it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. Like the guy that plays him, it's this guy right here. He doesn't look much like a warrior, but obviously you can see the picture next to him. The guy's just like really nice too. Like as an actor, like I've heard some like stories about Alexander Draymond, and he's just super kind, super nice. This is him congratulating all the fans and saying thank you. What's even cool is the fact that like not just like they have the TV shows that are happening, but like they have a movie coming out. It's, I guess, called like Death to Seven Kings or something like that. So they just filmed it, and apparently it was cumbersome. It was very emotional, and it was like hard. Like they described it almost like what the Game of Thrones actors describe Battle of the Bastards. There was so much going on, and so much horses, and it was a huge fight scene. So that's what they were saying. They said it was just the elements were getting to them, and yeah. So it's going to be good. A lot of their like emotions got poured onto these scenes. So it's going to be the last installment. They just finished, I believe, season 4 or season 5 of Last Kingdom, and they're going to make one movie, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, so definitely check that out. Love it. Not gonna lie, has a couple of tearjerker moments for me, especially. That was my dog. Also for her. Hi, how you doing? But yeah, so we'll go ahead and move past that, and now we could talk about something that I was super stoked that I want to talk to everybody about. I'm not even like mad about it. I'm not even anything about it, but I'm super stoked on it. Like beyond stoked on it. You probably already know. the Batman. Dude, first of all, I talked shit on it. I was like, Robert Pattinson? Really? Edward Cullen? Really? His diamonds and this when the sun hits him. Why? He's just weird. You know, he does like he's just weird. Why would they make Edward Cullen Batman? I mean, I figured Ben Affleck. Who's next, you know? I wasn't far off. I really wasn't. I forgot who I said, but there was somebody who was very like I may have said Taylor Lautner as Batman at one point in my life, which was the biggest mistake I could even imagine. Him as Batman, his goofy ass, what he's been in lately, absolutely not. But Robert Pattinson as Batman, wow, the voice was spot on, the angst was spot on. You know, it's year 2 as Batman. You know, you're not getting the Batman that we see in The Dark Knight, where he's been Batman for a while now. You know, like obviously, like in the first Batman movie, that first Nolan trilogy, we saw him coming of like kind of like age. He went into the League of Shadows to become Batman, comes back, he takes care of the city, yada yada. With this, he's been already Batman for like 2 years. Year 1 was him basically like, yes, like I'm Batman, and I'm gonna protect you guys, and I'm gonna make sure I stop crime. Now in year 2, he is getting his ass kicked, and there's more crime, there's more kingpins, there's more bad people. So he's like, what the hell am I even doing? So it's still a very like adolescent, like youthful kind of situation where he's like, fuck, like no matter what I do, it gets worse and worse. Now, like, what's nice about Pattinson is he's still young and he plays a very young Bruce Wayne well. He plays him well in the sense of you can still tell he's unsure. You know, he's not fully sure of himself. He's not like he doesn't have the Bruce Wayne that we see in like year 5, you know, where he knows, he's sure, where even the Bruce Wayne that we see in DC Titans, where it's like he's not telling everybody the whole plan. The Bruce Wayne that has a countermeasure for every single person in the Justice League in case they go AWOL. You know, Bruce Wayne really is the smartest, one of the smartest people in this universe. You don't really see that in this. You see a young one. You see a young guy. I mean, everything about him is young. Even his bat suit looks young, you know. Beautiful suit. Like the way it looks, like the way like it looks beautiful, man. It doesn't look clunky, you know, but it looks like something you would have during year 2. So that was cool. He had an okay build for it too. Like he wasn't like too buff. Like I noticed like Ben Affleck's Batman, he was really buff, you know, like Gold's Gym Batman, that's what I called him. But no, like with him, it was more like you could tell he was still like getting his physique together. Like he's, you know, when you think of Bruce Wayne as a young kid, the way they portrayed him, it wasn't like he was, I don't know, like a stout kid. You know, he was like a young kid, like very like not frail looking, but he was skinny. So how does a skinny ass kid turn into like Ben Affleck's brutish looking Batman? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't seem real. And like, you know, I noticed the other Batmans, like Christopher Nolan's Batman, Snyder's Batman, they're very like gadget oriented. You know what I mean? And part of the reason is they had Lucius Fox, and that guy was the designer for Batman. You know, he would make all his technology. In this Batman, there is no Lucius Fox character. He already has, you know, his own. He's using his own money in this movie to pay for his own gadgets and like work his own gadgets, based on what they're showing us. I mean, the Batmobile is like a supercharger, like a muscle car. You know what I mean? It's not even like the sleek, you know, tank looking thing that we're used to, you know? And like he very seldom used those technology. I would say the Batman is more of like a detective noir film. You know, it's very like, so tell me why you did this. What does this mean? It's very like dialogue driven, but like the time that there was any sort of fighting, it was brutal. The time that there was any sort of like dialogue between like the Batman and the Riddler, and man, the Riddler was nuts. Like such a good role. Like honestly, hold on, let's pull him up. The Riddler, the Batman. Do you guys remember the kid from The Girl Next Door? Let me see. This kid, he's the Riddler, bro. This guy is the fucking Riddler. Isn't that the most hilarious thing? He's this guy. I mean, like, if you haven't seen the movie, you're a dick, you know? Like, sorry, dude. Yeah, that's what the Riddler looks like. The Riddler that we're used to, like the actual Riddler from like Batman, we're used to like this fucking guy. This guy more so from like the show Gotham. If you guys watch that show, it's phenomenal. It's a really good show. Check that out. I mean, like, this is the kind of Riddler I suspected. This is a sociopath, and I'm all about it. Like, this is all like, yeah, like, why would the Riddler be so clean cut? Why would he not be like this psycho looking dude? Why would he look like this? Why would he look like this? Why would he look like this? You tell me out of these ones, which one you'd rather have. And I would understand if it's these last two. But for me, it's this one. It was dark. The guy who played him, very good. It was this guy. The guy from Girl Next Door. He hooks up with 2 porn stars. Look. Right here. He's right here. This guy. This guy. He's playing video games between 2 dudes. That's tight. That's tight, bro. Y'all remember this movie, though. But yeah, we all do. But yeah, I liked it. I also did like Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell was like, yo, Colin Farrell is probably one of the best actors we have. And part of the reason is method acting scares the shit out of me. But like when it's done right, like when we actually see it finally on a screen, like look at this. This is Colin fucking Farrell as fucking the Penguin. They gave him a fat suit and a fat face and some like prosthetics. And they're like, now you want to sound like this. You want to sound like this, like you're from Chicago. Talk like you just ate a hot dog. And that's kind of like seriously how he talks. Like there's like a chase scene. I don't want to divulge too much of the movie, but like you chase his ass and like the stuff that he's saying, it's nuts. I mean, this is the Penguin that we're used to. This fucking Danny DeVito guy. Like, I don't know. I never really liked these older style Batman movies. I just thought they were like way over the top. People are like, yeah, but you just don't like Tim Burton. And it's like, fine. Like, I don't, but I do. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like these older ones. Like, I like more, like, I like a penguin who looks more like a mobster rather than a penguin that looks like a literal fucking penguin. You know what I mean? In the comic books, I know it was more phantasmal, if that's even a word. Like, the Penguin was hanging out with, you know, Mr. Freeze, and there was Penguin everywhere. So lame. I get it, it's a cartoon, but so lame. Like, give us gang members. Manja. I want Manja. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of a cool thing. And also, the one thing I could say that could have been better is Zoe Kravitz's character in the Batman. Personally, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that good. Like, I thought we were gonna get a little bit more like Catwoman action. You know, personally, I thought Anne Hathaway was a little bit of a better fucking Catwoman. I thought Mia fucking Thermopolis was better. You know what I mean? But like, is Zoe Kravitz beautiful? Yes. Was she an okay Catwoman? Yes. Do I want her to be Catwoman and come back in the other movies? No, not really. I could care less. Let's do Poison Ivy. Can we give Poison Ivy a story? And I'm not talking about Uma. You know? I'm not talking about Uma. Because Uma was weird. Like, this is what girls look like now. Girls look like this now. For, like, no reason. Like, why do you have, like, this on your... Like, what? Why? Where are you going? Like, do you have plants? Why do you have plants? Uma. Imagine your name being Uma. Like, first of all, that can't be her real name. I'm not going to Google it. Next episode, we'll dialogue into her name. But, like, Uma? That's not real. It's not real. I don't believe it. But it was a great movie. And the other thing is, they showed us a deleted image. Or deleted scene. Deleted image. This is technically a deleted image. It's a still. But, no, they showed us the fucking Joker. They showed us the Joker way. They did. Literally, they did. They showed us 5 minutes of a deleted scene where Batman is talking to the Joker, and it's nuts. Like, the guy who plays him is the guy from the Eternals. Eternals. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, this guy. God, I love Google. Why does Google just kick ass? This guy. He's a good actor. I think he's like UK or like Scottish descent. But yeah, I would not be surprised if they do another movie and he is the Joker. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do like with this guy. with freaking Joaquin Phoenix. Like, is he just gonna be Granddaddy Joker, like the one that started it all? You know, like, or that is that really its own thing? Like, there is no Batman in that universe. It's just the Joker, and he's just a psychopath. Who knows? But it was a great movie. I call it year 2 Batman emo, or the Batman year 2. I'm emo. That's what I call it, and that's fine. You know, we were all emo at one point. We all had the, you know, and then like the in the back and like the little fingers and stuff. It's fine. You know, Taking Back Sunday was everybody's favorite band. It's cool. My Chemical Romance was mine. It's fine. You know what I mean? But go see that movie. Go check it out. You know, like, it's definitely not the best Batman ever, but it's one of the best Batmans I've ever seen. Nothing's gonna top Heath Ledger and like Christian Bale. I'm sorry to all you little boys out there and little girls. It's not gonna be the same thing. It's not. It's not. It doesn't even stand a chance. And plus, Christopher Nolan, bro. Like, we were immersed in that shit. We were Batman. We were Heath Ledger. We were in those perspectives. This was a good movie. But that's pretty much all I would say. I'd probably give it a nice 8 out of 10. And would you say that's worth it for you to go see it in movie theaters? I would. If it was a 7, that's a big maybe. If it was anything under a 7, I would tell you guys, just wait till it comes out. But it's worth seeing. It's worth seeing it on that big level because it's dark and you want to see all the stuff that you can see, especially when Batman's beating the shit out of these mobsters. But yeah, other than that, that was pretty much my episode this week, guys. You know, please like, follow, subscribe, all the shits, you know, because if you don't hit the buttons and do all the shits, then you don't see me. And then all this is pointless. Your boy wants bags, you know. He wants bags 5 years from now. So, like, help him get bags. Check me out on TikTok as well, at the Fully Over Podcast. I got some funny clips that come up from these podcast episodes. Sometimes it's fun to go back and look at all the funny stuff that I'm saying and see if I can make you guys laugh with it. And for the most part, people on TikTok are stoked on it. So with that being said, hope you guys have a good time this week. I hope that everything you guys need happens. And remember, be nice to people. Remember, it's not all about you. So with that being said, enjoy some music.